Hey, Grace Church. This is Gene and Melissa Harder. We serve in Germany with Greater Europe Mission. Our primary ministry is leading short-term teams across Europe to help other churches and organizations grow as we serve alongside them. One of the things that we've recently become more involved in is the Ukrainian crisis. We recently had a trip to Bucharest, Romania, where Melissa and I got to serve alongside others, and we were working with a group of churches that are housing Ukrainians in Romania, and they have three different sites. The one in downtown Bucharest is more for people that are in transition. They might just be there a day or two as they're working out things with their embassy and trying to coordinate ongoing travel. The other two sites are primarily for people that are going to be staying longer, so several months as they wait for the war to end, which we're all praying for, and then hopefully return home.
And so we got to hear lots of stories when we were working with these churches, and it was great to see that not only were the Romanians helping, because that's where they were, but the Ukrainians themselves oftentimes just wanted to be able to help in the process day to day. So one story in particular was I was working next to a young woman, Anna, and she, we talked a lot about her story, where she had come from, her family. She showed me a video of where they had all been taking cover, and like the video sort of panned the room with the kids and everything, and just kind of surreal to see that. Then she told me about how she had fled with most of her family, but her in-laws are still coming, and I pray that by now that she's reunited with them. But her family, or not her family, her mom and her dad decided to stay back in Ukraine, and they just couldn't give up their family home, and it was really hard for them. So I got an opportunity to pray with her. It was just a really great opportunity.
Yeah, and we saw person after person with plenty of stories like that. Many of them without their, moms, with their kids, without their husband, things like that. And one amazing thing that we saw as we were in Romania is just how incredible it is that the Romanian church, even though there's a very small number of Christians in the area that we were in, were banding together and really working 24/7, so doing so much more than we could do in the short time that we were there. And it was just great to see and talk to the pastors and hear how energized they were, hear how thankful they were that they were able to help with this situation. So we've got a Facebook page called The Harders in Germany that you can subscribe to, and a web page which will be on the bottom of the screen that you can take a look at. We'll be posting some more information about trying to explain a little bit more about the situation with the refugees, why it's different than what we saw when the Syrian refugees were coming. And you can just pray alongside us as we try to figure out how we're going to engage in this, how we're going to be able to serve the Ukrainians, and even serve the people that are helping them. So please pray just as we look to engage in this.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Hello, Grace Community Church family. My name is Luca Pongo. My family and I serve in South Africa, specifically in the township of Soshanguve, under Novo Interchange. We focus on raising disciples of Jesus in those communities of poverty, as well as local leaders who are good news agents and sons of hope for their fellow neighbors. Our prayer request is to see this, our efforts continue. We've been encouraged by seeing many of our neighbors come to Jesus and even multiply into different communities. And therefore, as Interchange South Africa, we now serve in several communities of poverty around South Africa, and we'd like that to continue. Also, a prayer request is for those multiplication efforts to remain and to be sustainable. We've seen some of them fade or die, and we would like God to help us discern ways that we could keep them going, and see that prayer would be at the center of those activities. Neighbors will be served in ways that are meaningful. Other leaders will be developed that will multiply into other communities, and even creative expressions of the church would be found in those communities, and many people will come to the Lord. Thank you so much. May God bless you.
Hello, this is Justus and Janice, indigenous missionaries serving in Kenya with the Evangelism Outreach Africa Ministry.
Yes.
We are working in the remote areas where people have never heard the gospel. We are taking the gospel there through the Jesus film,
Yes.
translated into different local languages. We have seen God transforming many, many lives. We are also working in the million population target areas
Yes.
of Nairobi, where we have also been able to see God transforming many lives.
Oh, yes.
We just want to say a big thank you
Oh, yes.
for Grace Community Church for your prayers and all your concern and
Yes.
generosity.
Yes.
We have been able to achieve all that we have achieved because of your prayers.
Yes.
So we just want to tell you that we do really appreciate you
Oh, yes.
and we love you so much.
Oh, yes.
And may God continue to bless you in a mighty way.
Amen.
Amen, amen, amen.
Hello, Grace family.
This is Hunter,
And Lori and Jax.
and we're with Young Life in the Middle East and North Africa.
And we're so sorry we can't be with you there today, but we are continually giving thanks for the Grace community.
Since our team first began reaching teenagers in Israel and Palestine, you guys have been an amazingly generous and faithful partner. You bless us, and most importantly, our courageous team of indigenous staff and leaders on the ground in that part of the world. Because of your partnership, all kinds of kids are hearing about the love of Christ and being discipled. Israeli kids, Palestinian kids, Moroccan kids in North Africa, middle school kids, high school kids, teens and young adults with special needs.
And now your support is helping us begin work in the country of Jordan, where our Palestinian director Youssef has been traveling to train the leaders there for the very first time.
And later this year, we hope to begin ministry in the Kurdish areas of northern Iraq, where we are identifying leaders, meeting with local believers, and praying about how to reach teenagers in the major city of Suleimani. And all this is happening because of the faithful and generous support of Grace.
And we can never say thank you enough.
But we will keep trying.
Thank you!